After 10 years, the Concordia Forum has become this amazing institution where hundreds of leaders from across the world have come to meet on an annual basis in amazing locations. And we've really built something special.
For me, the Concordia Forum really fuses and infuses resources into Muslims who have projects, who have ideas, who have dreams that they want to make true, and we help them on their journey.
Concordia is not about creating initiatives. What we do is we provide a platform for diverse people to just maybe make that introduction, or maybe drop that donation, or maybe provide that mentoring so that you all can shine as leaders.
To be amidst the most committed, compassionate people from different fields of work, from different parts of the world, who gather, each one with their own story. And you just want to hear each story. And with each story, you're inspired by that person's commitment to doing good, to doing their part in changing the world in some small way.
My first impression is it's open to everyone. It is a very warm and welcoming opportunity to get to know people from all over the world, to collaborate and to benefit from a social network that is something like we've never had before.
We're incredibly proud to be one of the sponsors and supporters of this program because we find that there is a tremendous trust deficit that exists in society at this given time, a trust deficit institutionally as well with individuals and leaders. So having the time and space to invest in these relationships, to go from transactional to transformative, has been such a meaningful exercise for all of us.
Ibn Khaldun made his way through markets of spice and perfume sellers. And he arrived in madrasas that were the masterpiece of their architects. There were onyx floors, stuccos in cedarwood, and mosaics of breathtaking beauty.
When we stumbled upon this venue, the Caux Palace, we realized we found something that actually is not only physically beautiful, but its history and its values very much aligned with the Concordia Forum.
The space we're in is so mesmerizing and beautiful.
Location, wow.
If there's any place on earth that is majestic and beautiful, and the scenery, the mountains and the view are just outstanding.
We found that it's better if we have a venue that's inspirational, but also a little bit removed from city centers and places where you can get distracted and start thinking about your work. We want people to start to think about society at large and what they can do to improve it and how they can work together with people from different backgrounds. And that's really only possible if you build that safe space and that isolated sort of environment where they can focus on each other, being inspired by the view and the location, but really focusing on the people who were right there in front of them.
Just follow the path all the way to the end. That could be the end.
N for Nigeria. N. Okay, let's try that.
Let's try that. And
That's
I think that's right. That's it.
No. Oh. Okay, I didn't get it. Are we going to do it?
It's a lime juice.
Yes.
Measure the string and find your next stop.
7. So room 427.
It required analytical thinking, leadership, and it definitely required teamwork. We had to agree on a course of action even when we didn't always see things the same.
Score 1.
We were splitting up. We were saying, okay, let's do it this way. You go there and figure that out, you go there and do that, and we'll reconvene here and all that. It was like, because we wanted to win.
It really brought the best and worst out in people. I kind of thought it was an interesting way to really learn about people, and I think some people took it really way overboard. It's a bit too competitive.
I wasn't expecting a scavenger hunt at Concordia, but believe me, it was one of the better things at any conference because it allowed us to kind of get out of our shell, build relationships in quite a cool environment. It was like the Amazing Grace for young Muslims. It was fantastic.
I'm from Team 10, and we did so great.
Go, 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 go.
There is an identity crisis, there is an issue with Muslim identity. We want to be the home of Muslim talent to reinvigorate Muslim identity in English-speaking communities. We want to be a media network that appreciates the knowledge and talent in our ummah. We want feedback in terms of the direction we're heading in, the content that we're putting out there. So any feedback on the editorial vision and any way we can collaborate, if you know of talents, if you know who I should be interviewing, we should be interviewing, we'd love to speak to you. I got feedback from politicians, business people, from potential investors, and that will really help us shape the future for our project.
I supported two brothers that were here last year. We were able to raise $1 million to support an app, and they just signed their first deal. And it's really going to sound like it's going to be a huge success.
Concordia has changed my life in the sense that it doesn't feel like I'm doing all of this alone. That there are so many others that are out there that are also committed to trying to make the world a better place.
The offshoots that have come about in my discussions here have already started meetings in Los Angeles and in New York and even in Chicago, and discussing those things further and kind of expounding on that.
On one level, you're meeting business people, and also it enables me to participate and be involved in their work, which is something that I wish I could have been able to do at a younger age. And you're facilitating that, you're helping to finance some of those ideas that are so rewarding, not just to them, but to yourself as well and to the community.
Many years ago, we had a debate on making same-sex marriages legal. It was a big controversial issue, especially if you're a Muslim member of parliament. And I have to say that a fellow Concordian who had met over a number of years, I actually rang him and asked, his opinion about it. And he gave me a really, interesting perspective and an opinion, and that really helped me to decide on one of the most probably difficult decisions I've made.
Muntada Aid in 2012 decided we can't stand by and let that be. So in the House of Commons in London, we launched a project called Little Hearts, where we provide life-saving heart operations for these babies with holes in their hearts. And it's very simple. We got some of the best surgeons, doctors, anesthetists, cardiovascular engineers, the best team in the world that we could find, and we fly about 40, sometimes less, of these medical staff to different countries in the world to perform these life-saving heart operations where they don't have access to the treatment, and we do it for free. The project's been running for 6 years. We've done about 26 campaigns, and by the grace of God, we've saved 1,800 lives of babies.
I strongly believe in a cross-sector approach to problem solving, and to be here and work in partnership with people in the private sector, in the non-profit, non-governmental sector, so, civil society, and folks in government allows us to really work through ways through a multiple lens approach and a tri-sector approach, which I think is leading to and will lead to breakthroughs around some of the topics we care about.
I walk into this conversation with this guy, and he says, first thing, doesn't say hello, how are you, anything like that. He says, I know you guys are worried about this, and I'm willing to let it go for $350,000. Right? And I said, hello. And then I said, actually I was thinking more along the lines of 75,000, and let me explain why.
You have two questions to answer every time you meet another Concordian. One is, what can I do for this Concordian? And two, what can my whole network do for this Concordian? And only then maybe you can ask the third question, what can this Concordian do for me?
newcomers to Concordia? Can I have a show of hands? This light is blinding me, but I think that's a lot of people. Welcome to the Muslim Illuminati, guys. I've got some pearls of advice for you lot. Keep your friends close and keep Mudassir Ahmed even closer.
Because I was having dinner with my good friend Jonathan a few months ago, and Jonathan and I have been friends for years. Now, we were catching up in quite a nice restaurant. The table next to us is celebrating a birthday party. Halfway through my meal, the balloon from the birthday table, the one closest to me, it burst. And I just shouted out in my excitement, Jesus Christ, Jonathan lost his mind. Oh, Jesus Christ, is it? Where's your Allah and Muhammad now, mate?
I had this interaction with another Palestinian. It was this cool pickup line, can I tell you? You're Palestinian, right? I was like, yeah, I'm Palestinian. Cool, 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 cool. I'm Palestinian too. But tonight I want to be Israeli. Word? Tonight you want to be Israeli? He's like, yeah. Tonight I want to be Israeli because tonight I want to occupy your body. You like this one? I was like, okay, cool. All right. Israeli, you want to be Israeli? Cool. Then I'll be, how about we'll do like role playing? You be Israeli, I'll be like a UN resolution because that shit ain't never going to happen, all right? Might have time.
No, look, I'm brown and Muslim. I live in Australia, which is a little bit like being that one white guy in the 100-meter sprint at the Olympics. You know that guy that everyone else is looking at him like, how the hell did you get here? And we are going to beat the shit out of you.
Concordia is a platform for me to both be bold and feel completely accepted and honored. So like when you're playing tennis with a great tennis player, your tennis game goes up, right? And if you're a great tennis player, you want that. And that's what Concordia is. It's like-minded, self-driven, empowered, compassionate, empathetic, business people, artists, all types, philanthropists that come together, and we're on our A game.
There are lots of spaces we aren't wanted, sometimes even in our countries and communities. It doesn't give somebody a right to keep us out of that space. And in fact, we're not going to create the right to be in that until we keep showing up. So even personal engagements, we have a very low tolerance for. So I would suggest the question is not boycott or engagement, the question is when, to which one, and who decides? Concordia is a meeting of the minds, I believe. I think it's very different than any other Islamic forum or conference where it's the same expected kind of slate of speakers that we've been seeing for decades and decades. Here you have a gathering of like Muslim expertise, knowledge, entrepreneurial experience, just a vast array of experience and skills that you just don't find in other Islamic gatherings, Muslim gatherings.
In 3 days, it's the same as if people were interacting on social media for, without seeing each other for years. You really build that trust in a short period of time. So that's why we encourage that interaction between new and old.
I want to begin by thanking all of you for being here tonight. It means so much to all of us and to all the volunteers and to everybody that's been working hard here tonight.
Where do you think Concordia is headed in the next few years?
Well, I think genuinely it's heading for even greater things, and I'm hoping that on the next occasion, very senior sort of political figures like Hillary and others will be able to attend and address our meetings. One of the things I really would like Concordia to do, and I know it's not just about Islam or Muslim, but I think it's a big challenge facing us. And I know that Concordians will come together and actually that we'll connect with each of us in different countries and work in our individual country to raise the issue about, explain what Islam is about, what being a Muslim is about, and actually fight the whole xenophobic, anti-Islamic, anti-Muslim sentiment that is really very dangerous and very prevalent in Europe and in the Western world. It's a great forum for people to discuss in a safe space about some of the issues that they might be concerned about, and maybe get other people's opinions and views about how to deal with certain challenges that we all as Muslims are facing now in the Western world as well as in Europe and other places.
In my day-to-day role, it's hard. I don't come across people I can trust, people that share the same values as me, and this Concordia really provided that environment, and that was one of the key things that I really wanted to be here for.
10 days of not hearing a single news about the well-being of my father. He was taken to court. My family, our friends, and the nation, even the whole world, were shocked to see his infamous black eye.
Some of the speeches we heard tonight were incredibly, fascinating. You don't get to be a good storyteller sitting at home on a sofa. You need to kind of mingle with people and hear their stories. And this is why these sort of forums are quite important, because people open up. Don't forget, everything is off the record, so people get to be themselves, and you get to see the other side of their kind of professional lives.
Look at that! $2,000. Absolutely epic.
You know what? We're not going to start the bidding at $14 billion, which is what Mohammed Abdul Hassan's company was turning over.
Oh, shoot! Get off your phone unless you're moving money over to your other account. I see you. Come on, guys. We need $3,000. $3,000. That's nothing. That's what do you guys do with $3,000? Like
Look
what?
at that.
That's not even first-class tickets, guys.
Thank you very much for allowing me to take this prize, but I've bid on this tonight as a present for someone very special. So I'm giving it to Ilham Ibrahim to give to her father. He's our Nelson Mandela.
Oh, yay! Look at that! Woo!
Thank you so much. On behalf of my father, mother, and the whole family, and even the whole Malaysia, thank you so much for this.
Pleasure. I'm going to break out in song now. Allah.
It was absolutely epic. That is a sign of real generosity, real kindness, real belief. Thank you so much.
I love the fact that arts is such a big focus in Concordia, because it is important, something that changes perceptions, challenges perceptions, but it also really promotes Islamic values, and I just think it's great. I just think it's amazing that it's a core integral part of it, whether it be the comedy night to the auction of their artwork, and yeah, it's just amazing.
You chose to wear this suit in public. Wow.
He can do whatever he likes when he's making that sort of money.
Wow, I think that's a $5,500 commitment. That level of the audacity, wear the tie and wow. Look, and this one's on Instagram. Fantastic. Are you taking pictures of what you're about to buy?
People have a wrong impression that with social media and social networks, these sort of events lose their value. On the contrary, we are so hyper-connected and we're so busy with our phones that we don't give really FaceTime to anybody. So you have a lot of connections, but none of them matter. What these kind of networking events do is they give you the FaceTime, and here I'm not referring to the app, I'm actually referring to the actual FaceTime you give to another human being, which is necessary to build relations and then create a mutually beneficial understanding between two people.
Do I see 7,000? Yay! All right! What I'm seeing is that the Concordia is a live organism. It's breathing, it's growing. I love that there's conversations of the future, of the present, of just visions are coming up. I mean, the people that are discussing and these synergizers or these brainstorming conversations, it's not just about the religious variable or the business variable, it's what's possible. They're creating possibility. And when you set the stage for creating possibility, anything is the future.
Having attended, I've had the chance to meet quite a few folks, and with many of them, we've had the chance to take a conversation that started with a stroll or having a meal and really going into a much more deeper relationship of figuring out how to partner together, how to build together, how to start a social enterprise together. And we've seen that play out, in DC and across the country, and it all started here.
Everyone in here is invited to come up and share whatever they want to share with us.
This is about fish, but it's also about a lot more than that, and it's called clickbait. I hate when people insert platitudes into moments perfectly shaped for genuine emotion. If I was in desperate need of a cliche, there's an aisle full of smiling Hallmark teddies at the Dwayne Reed across the street. So please, don't tell me how many fish there are in the sea.
All they just say is please me, or spend some time and rock a rhyme. I said it's not that easy. It's tricky to rock around. That's right, on time is tricky. How is it, Lee? It's tricky. It's tricky to rock around. That's right, on time is tricky.
If Concordia shows up on your radar, that means your gut knows something that you, as the human, may not know. Follow that instinct. Use your instinctive actions, do inspired action, sign up and show up, because the person that's sitting next to you, whether it's on a missed train or you're having dinner with someone or you sneeze and somebody hands you a tissue, that person was provided to you on purpose. You drew that person in, and whether it's a business that they have, their mission statement, the fact that they're an artist or comedian and you need something for an event that's happening in 2 weeks, come because it's magic. At Concordia, it's magic. The perfect person is sitting right next to you or right in front of you. There's never ever a mistake. The only people that I think that regret Concordia is the ones that didn't show up.
I think the 10-year milestone is a great moment to celebrate the achievements that the organization has made, but also to be a moment of inflection, to think about where we've come and where we want to go next. And I'm really grateful to Mudassir and the team and everyone that's invested in this project and this movement to see it move forward.
You know, when you feel supported, you can take that extra step, you can take that risk, because you know that people have your back and they're ready to support you in going forward. And I think that is such an empowering, inspiring feeling.
What is the future of Concordia? To make everything we do now bigger and better.
So long as we keep making people so happy, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. I think that we are encouraged by the response that we get from the participants, who clearly feel that there is a need for something like this in the community. And I don't think that need's ever going to go away. There's never going to not be a need to have a place to build trust, for people to think about the future properly, and for people to help each other. So as long as that need exists, we're going to be here to serve it.